What's up guys, my name is Aussie Marcel, the most luscious locks on YouTube, and in today's video I'm going to be reviewing Diesel's Only the Brave Wild, a fragrance for men. First off, I'll just show you the box. It's got a cool camouflage pattern. I'll be honest, I bought this from Priceline for $30 for 50 ml of the fragrance, or 1.7 fluid ounces, and I hadn't read any of the notes before I purchased it. I thought it would be a safe bet considering the design. How wrong I was. Here's the bottle. Classic Only the Brave fist. And there's the batch information for you. It's got interesting packaging. You're either going to love it or you're going to hate it. I saw one comment online after I purchased this that pretty much stated that despite how tough the bottles look, the fragrances very rarely come across as a tough, heavy fragrance. Give myself a spray. First impressions are that it is a fresh, spicy, and almost a soft fragrance. I get lemongrass in the opening. Now, lemongrass is one of the listed notes. I also get coconut and a touch of wood as well. It is definitely on the fresher side as far as fragrances go. So if you're looking for something, super heavy and dense, this isn't exactly going to be the fragrance for you. It's definitely a spring summer fragrance, but I wouldn't say it's a high heat summer fragrance. It's definitely that green sort of spring, new bloom sort of fragrance. If I'm going to be completely honest with you guys, I'm not a big fan of this fragrance. I only paid $30 for 50 ml, so it's neither here nor there, but I was expecting something a little different. It definitely doesn't smell wild. It smells like, it sort of smells like a Thai restaurant if you've ever smelled one before. Like, it smells like Thai green curry if you've ever eaten it. This is not a gourmand fragrance, but because it reminds me of curry, I'd almost lump it into that category. I gave this to a co-worker to smell at work, and she said that she wasn't a fan of it, and after I mentioned that it smelled like Thai green curry, she said she could smell it as well, and that made her dislike it even more. So I probably didn't paint her the best impression of it, but it's not wrong, it's not inaccurate. After that, I did show her a sample of Hugo Boss's Bottled Intense, and she liked that much more. Actually, I like that much more as well. Once the fragrance dries down a bit, you do get slightly more greenness to it, and that lemongrass disappears, and what you're left with is sort of a milky, almost lactonic, coconutty wood sort of fragrance. One of the listed notes is coconut milk, and I definitely get that in here. Performance isn't great, 4 to 6 hours if you're lucky. On my skin it's about 4. And as for compliments, I don't know, maybe go to Thailand, step inside a restaurant, you'll be right at home right there. But in all seriousness, I'm not the biggest fan of this fragrance. In all honesty, I'm not the biggest fan of these springtime fragrances. They tend to lack a lot of depth, and fragrances like this that despite the fact that they've got a spiciness and they've got a relatively interesting note composition, they are more often misses than hits. I will 100% say that this is, to my nose at least, a unique fragrance. So if you're looking for something that isn't typical, it's not your classic freshie and it's not your classic blue fragrance or anything like that, and if you're a fan of like coconutty sort of fragrances, definitely check this out. I mean, you don't often see coconut in men's fragrances, so it gets points for being unique. But all in all, I'm not the biggest fan of it. Well, that about covers my review of Diesel's Only the Brave Wild for men. Have you ever worn Diesel's Only the Brave Wild before? If you have, let me know in the comments below. And until the next video, my name is Aussie Marcel, and I'll catch you guys around.